She's a slow burn, kind of like an enemies to friends to lovers situation going on. So it's gonna be like a hot mess, but like at the same time, it's gonna be so good to put together. Hello everyone, this is Vic. Welcome back to Vic's Literary Work. Today we are going to be talking about something very special and close to my heart that I'm really excited to share with you all. We're going to be talking about a work in progress that I've been working on for the past couple of years, and her name is Project Velvet. So let's dig in a little bit to that. I started this book about 3 years ago. It is fairly recent in my opinion compared to like a couple of other works in progress I've had for like a decade. But this one, it's fairly recent, but still pretty long since I haven't actually done it and finished it out. It's very close to my heart though, because actually it stems from my own personal beliefs, or at least how I used to feel, a younger me, how she used to feel about love. I was very cynical. There was a time where I was like, bump it, love kind of sucks, and I don't think it's real outside of movies, shows, and music. Maybe people have it, but maybe it's just for a very, very few. And I just had such a negative thought process about it because growing up, I never really got the best examples of love outside of familial and friendship love. I think that's why I'm so strong when it comes to my friends. Like I may not have a lot, but like I love them so much. I think because that's just been the longest experience I've had with true and good love. Even though I've had friendship breakups, the core people that have stayed here, the best, I love them. But it took a while. Eventually, when I was single, I kind of felt like I healed really well. I had a better mindset about it. I knew that one, you kind of have to love yourself, but two, that even the shortest bit of time with someone you love can be worth it. You have good times, and hopefully it doesn't end poorly to where all you have is negative thoughts of them, but it can be worth it, you know? So I wanted to write this because I wanted to share with other people. A relationship isn't everything, but I do think it can add a lot of greatness to your life, a lot of warmth and happiness. And as a going to be 27-year-old woman in a couple months, I truly and strongly feel that way. And it's funny because, you know, I based that part of my main character off of that side of me. And her character, she's a personal stylist, and it's fun because even though she's struggling with, you know, truly kind of finding a way to get back to herself and being happy and positive when it comes to love, she's helping other people grow and glow, like with not only their fashion but their confidence. So I think it's an interesting parallel that she's kind of struggling a little bit in her personal life because everything's kind of tainted. She has these really awesome like relationships outside of her struggle, but it does taint a little bit because as she's talking to her people, as she's having these thoughts, she kind of projects it onto them a little bit. And it's kind of like a downer a little bit, you know, because some people are just like, they're still optimistic even if they don't have good relationships or good love stories. Like they still like, you know, we're gonna try, you know, or it's okay, it's not all doom and gloom. Like I feel like you can be content being single without being negative about other people being in love or the idea of love itself. And I feel like being single doesn't mean you have to be negative when it comes to love. And I feel like it can be easy to, especially when you're jaded and hurt. And that's where our main character is. You know, she's hurt, she's still dealing with a lot of her trauma, and she needs to work through it. Enter our male love interest. Our main love interest is a he's a romance novelist, and I just think it's kind of interesting how he writes about love and she's struggling with the idea of love. And I think this is going to be really good to help her work through what she has to get through to feel and kind of like ascend in a way of I'm like, okay, I can work through my character problem, essentially, you know? And I love when I read stories and when I write stories, I love it when they're fleshed out. Like, as much as love is important, we're quite literally, this is a romance, right? It's, I want them to still, like, they have motivations, they have aspirations. I feel like the love should only enhance that side. Being balanced is essentially how I think a character should end up. Of course, you know, at the beginning, she's got some stuff to work through, but towards the end, it's not necessarily that her life is over. You know, like this, I know the story's done, but her life isn't. In this little world, she will continue to live in my little head. Her life isn't over, and she uses this love to fuel her. Back to our male love interest. So like, I think it's kind of ideal that he writes about love and she's struggling with it. Now he also has like a problem, of course, right? And it is going to be a dual POV. So we get to see his life, we get to see his mind. He is currently a writer dealing with writer's block. He's got a lot of books out there. He's got like a really good audience. And so of course the publishing house was like, okay, well, let's get you signed up for your next book and let's go ahead and give you the money. You know, we trust you. You're a great author. You brought us a lot, right? So he got his advance and he's already spent it. But here's the problem. He doesn't have the book and it's due in like 6 months. So what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? So it's gonna be very funny because now he has to figure out how to write the book, and she becomes the key to unlocking his writer's block. So I just feel like this is going to be, I feel, because I love comedy too. I'm not like, in my opinion, I'm not like haha, like I'm not a comedian, but like I love a good banter. And so I would definitely consider this like kind of giving me rom-com vibes. Like I'm definitely gonna like pull, when it comes to inspiration, pulling from 2000s rom-coms. So like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, 13 Going on 30. Those were my tops. So I'm trying to like strive for that kind of era of rom-com movies because, oh gosh, they were so good. It's just like the more I continue to write, and even though it's been slow, I love the story so much. Like I see the scenes in my head. I'm like, Victoria, get to a pen, paper, computer, write it down. And then just like, I feel like I lose steam, I procrastinate. I'm so excited about the story. And I think because I've been getting some more traction with it mentally, this is the one I'm going to continue with. That's why Project Velvet is going to be happening. And I'm excited to share with you my updates, my progress, and eventually the story itself. Not only do I think it's going to motivate me, but I don't know. I feel like this could also inspire other people, especially if they feel stuck. Like maybe this gives them like a kick in the butt. And I mean, like when it came to kind of my procrastination, I used to think that writing, it's your passion, right? Like you don't have to rush it. You know, you want things to be good. And then I'm seeing authors publish books in under 2 years. And I'm like, I can do that. Like, why haven't I done that? And because being a writer is all I've ever wanted in my life. Like, not only did I get my degree in it, like creative writing, obviously English creative writing specifically, but it's also been something that I've always wanted to do. I've been telling stories since I could talk, whether they were true or not. I love being creative, and I knew this was something I've always wanted to do, and I don't know how I got it in my head that I may have to wait till like I'm 40 to really become a writer. I don't have to wait. You know, I see Emily Henry, Ali Hazelwood, and like these are just a couple of my favorite authors. I see other people that are younger than I would say what I was thinking of a right age of becoming an author. And I do know like people discover passions later in life, or they finally take the time to do it later in life because maybe something took place in the earlier stages. Like maybe they had a family, they wanted to focus on that, which I get, but I don't really have that. I think my key blockers was because my previous corporate jobs were very, very toxic. I'm in a really good position right now. I love my team. and I love the company. So I'm not in a toxic environment, but I am in a corporate environment still. And so I've let that burnout from the past two and just trying to find my footing with this current one kind of like get in my head, and I let that be a lot of the blockers because I graduated college back in 2021. So if we want to talk about like career wise, you know, I started corporate, but like that's been my blockers, but they're not good enough blockers. You know, I feel like they're not good enough to where I'm like, Victoria, you don't have a family, you know, your boyfriend's an adult, like he is doing his own thing, go do your own thing and focus on it. And so that's what I want to do, and that's what we're doing here today, because you know, just the only thing standing between me and my dream is me. So my goal this year is to finish the first draft. I think I want to make sure I cultivate it best as I can. Like I want this first draft to be literally amazing. That way when I do the revisions, like where it's more so grammatical errors or making sure that ideas are connecting. But because I do work a full-time job, I don't know how much time I can dedicate to being able to finish the draft, right? I think ideally I would want to write up to 350 pages, and that's a lot. And like I still have to go back, and there are a couple of chapters that are under where I think they should be to reach my page count or my chapter page count. And so there's work that I have to do and go back to. So it's like I will consider my first draft done when I can reach 350 pages, and then boom, okay, like let's go ahead, revise it. I've been seeing some writers on authortube going and printing their physical drafts so they can revise it that way, and also just really sink in. I'm like, whoa, I did this. Words, I put it on this page. I love that. Like one of my favorite ones, Brielle writes. She has a couple of videos on it, and I love seeing how her first draft book was very small, and then her second one she was big, she was thick, and I thought that was so cool to see. So I do want to get to that point where I can do that for myself, and that will be a first step. So, you know, finish the first draft by the end of this year, and then next year we're talking revisions. So I would love by this time next year to be able to either get ready to self-publish or query. I'm open to both, mainly because if I go to the self-publishing route, I know I could keep the narrative and control how I want the book to be conveyed, it is really important to me because I have this amazing idea of the cover. I've had it for years and I really want to do it, but I would hate it if I go to a publishing house and they're like, we don't want to do that at all. I'm like, but like, it's my book. That could depend, because I could get an agent who, because that's another thing, I would have to get an agent. I could get an agent that's amazing and able to fight for me in that way. And I think maybe that's the goal. Like when it comes to writing, not new to writing, but when it comes to the world of publishing, that is still a very foreign topic to me. So there's a lot of research I want to do with that, but I want that to be like after I've written my book. The first priority is let's write. I just want to write my book. I think that's the first step. I want to write it. I want to see my work come to life. I want people to read my words and actually feel what I was feeling and feel the growth. And I'm so excited. I am so excited to actually do it. In the midst of doing this bookish content channel, where I am reading and talking about a lot of my favorite great books, I will also be sharing my writing journey, going through Project Velvet, and how to, if I have any tips and tricks I will share, I will definitely put them on here, but more so it will be focused on, maybe some writing vlogs and talking about Project Velvet, in addition to all the book content, because that one, I love talking about my books. Oh my gosh. And that was one of the reasons why I was so excited to do this, to join the community on here. And of course I'm blending booktube and authortube together. So it's like, I guess it's more so like a bookish tube, a literary tube. But yes, if you are a dreamer, a fellow writer, a reader, or you are just very, very curious about how messy the writing process can be and where I'm gonna go from here, welcome. I'm so excited to be going over and sharing Project Velvet with you to eventually bring her into the limelight. I'm so excited. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for coming along. Like I said, if you like bookish content, so if you like book chats, book hauls, because your girl loves shopping. I love thrifting too, so like a lot of the times I will be thrifting my books. Like just had a really great Goodwill haul. Like, oh my god, I got so many new releases. I guess somebody either didn't like them or maybe there was extra, I don't know, but they're mine now. I love thrifting, I love shopping for my books, and there's gonna be a lot of bookish channels. Like I just moved into this new apartment and I'm gonna be this is gonna be my, like, I was gonna say office, but it's more so gonna be like my cozy multi-purpose room, because it's gonna be, I've got my desk where I'm gonna be doing office stuff, but also my cozy gaming, gonna build my library up, have a reading nook, and also just other areas for doing kind of cute little fun activities. But I'm so excited to be here for that, because that's gonna be, this room is gonna be amazing. I'm so excited to share that. Definitely comment what your thoughts are about my premise. She's a slow burn, kind of like an enemies to friends to lovers situation going on. So it's gonna be like a hot mess, but like at the same time, it's gonna be so good to put together. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.